Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel that asks the question, Nip Tuck, award-winning TV show or an offensive way to ask if an Asian person wants to go to bed. Shane Gillis has released his second comedy special and his first on Netflix entitled Beautiful Dogs, and if you haven't seen it yet, I suggest you do. It's fantastic. But as Gillis does, he's once again upset a group of people. And that group of people? Australians. Yeah, apparently Australians are upset about Shane Gillis's opening joke about Australia. If you haven't seen it, it's this one.
No, Australia's good. I was shitting on it. Australia might be number 2. That's a good country, dude. Just a whole country doing nothing. That's what I like about them. They're just down there. Zero exports. Creating nothing, dude. The only export I've seen come out of Australia is just that YouTube video of that guy punching that kangaroo in the face. Yeah.
That joke. That was the joke that apparently offended so many Australians. Now listen, if you're an Australian and you got offended by that joke, I'm willing to bet $20 that I can drink more bleach than you. Go pour yourself a cup and let me know how many you do down in the comments and we'll compare at the end. Because seriously, if you got offended by that, as Ricky Stewart would say, you are a weak-gutted dog.
He was a weak-gutted dog as a kid, and he hasn't changed now. He's a weak-gutted dog person now.
And I don't want to share this country with a bunch of weak-gutted dogs, because when World War III inevitably rolls around, I don't want to be sharing the trenches with someone who could at any moment pull a cartilage. I need people there carrying me. I need the most toxic, masculine fucking guys around. I need people like the top G.
Imagine one day you're sitting in Paris, you're sitting there having a fucking coffee, and terrorists roll through with AKs, and the person next to you has their brains blown out. You're gonna stand there and be like, waiting to die like a motherfucker. I'm gonna be like, bang, oh, I've seen that before. Okay, boom, boom, duck and dive in, take one terrorist out, next get the AK, go Rambo, take out all of fucking Pakistan like a G. I don't play games.
Dude tells stories like he's in year 3. Seriously, what happened to Australia? Once upon a time, it seemed like we used to just watch things to enjoy them. And now it seems like all we do is watch things to try get offended or try to figure out how we can turn ourselves into the victim. And if your response to that joke was to take to Twitter and list our actual exports, just be like, well, what about all the coal we send to China? What about all the beef we send to America? What about all the bogans we send to Bali? That's like, you're just proving Shane Gillis right when he says, at least we're not gay. Because that is the gayest response you could have had to that joke. Like if I showed 2 dudes that joke, and the first one's response was just to walk over to another 2 guys, undo their flies and suck them off in tandem, and then I looked back at you, and you stood there and went, well, actually, Australia exports quite a lot of stuff. I'd be like, you're gay. Shut the fuck up. You're fucking gay. These jokes are not to be taken seriously. They're not real. Just like Anthony Hopkins doesn't actually eat people. That was just a character he played for a movie. Robert Downey Jr. hasn't saved the world over half a dozen times. That's just a character he plays for a movie. Sean Connery doesn't actually hit women.
You did an interview in which you said, not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a clenched fist, it's better to do it with an open hand. And I didn't love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
Alright, maybe that one was a bad example. But the joke is funny. The joke's funny because it's not serious. There's no malice in it. Unlike fucking when Hannah Gadsby tells a joke. See, that's why no one likes Hannah Gadsby, because all her comedy specials are just TED Talks. Men bad. And I've seen female comedians make jokes about men before, and they work. I'm not against that. Often they work, though, because they have these fucking things called punchlines in them, which is something that Hannah just seems to fucking lack. If you look at the look on her face when she's telling a joke about men, compared to when Bill Burr, my favourite comedian, is telling a joke about men, you tell me which one looks more like Shane Gillis on stage. That's why Bill Burr and Shane Gillis are so fucking good, because they're smiling the whole time. They're making it fun for people. They're letting us know that this isn't serious. There's no malice here. That's what makes them so fucking good. I think Shane Gillis is the absolute man in a comedy at the moment. I love that he made fun of Australia. I love when comedians make fun of Australia. My favourite Simpsons episode is when they go to Australia, because it's just so fucking ridiculous.
Oh, that's it. I'm going to report this to me Member of Parliament. Hey, Gus! I got something to report to you.
That's a bloody outrage, it is. I want to take this all the way to the Prime Minister. Hey, Mr. Prime Minister! Andy!
Aye, mate. What's a good word?
And look, if we're being honest, that article, it was probably just clickbait. I doubt many Australians were actually offended by this, but the problem I have with that article is it just perpetuates that mindset, that way of thinking, where people are just going to be looking to get offended by things because they think that's how they should think, because they just see it constantly in the media.
That's a bloody outrage, it is.
But anyway, let me know what you think of Shane Gillis' special. I want to give a special shout out to Newman653. The dude comments on every video I do. I absolutely appreciate your support, brother. You are the fucking MVP of this channel. And just know, if I had a mutt, oh man, I would rub it to you. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, stay hard.
Get your hand off my penis!